And good morning. Welcome into our Sports Talk at the Stadium coverage of Clemson at Syracuse tonight from the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse, New York. Our coverage brought to you by the good folks at Touchstone Energy Cooperatives. Don't forget the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl, the North-South All-Star Game, coming up in December. In fact, next week we should have the rosters for that game for you on Sports Talk. Well, tonight, Clemson, a 17-14 winner over Syracuse. Another nail-biter, down-to-the-wire game for Clemson. All 5 of their FBS games this season to this point have been one-possession games. So it's understandable why the Maylocks and all the antacids are being chewed up around the upstate, because Clemson fans, they need that. They need that right now, because this Clemson team is giving them a lot of anxiety as they go through this season. And I'm afraid from a Clemson standpoint, I don't really think it's going to get that much better, because they had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. And the offense looked pretty much like it has throughout the season. Maybe not as good as it looked against Boston College in terms of yardage and moving the football. But it does look like at this point this team's going to be offensively a low-scoring, low-productive kind of offense, an offense that is devoid of the big play, the big explosive play down the field. They're just making too many mistakes. A snap over the quarterback's head, for example, they had tonight when they had a drive going, missed open receivers, drop passes, penalties at inopportune times, all those things that add up to a problem for an offense, and that is what Clemson is dealing with right now. Though Dabo Swinney said afterwards he'll take it. He likes the way the team is working hard and grinding, and he'll take a W like this every day, just like the one a couple of weeks ago when they beat Boston College. The scary part is that they're needing the help of the opponent to win these games. 2 weeks ago against Boston College, you had the late fumble that prevented Boston College from scoring and winning that ball game. And tonight, of course, you had the missed field goal, 48 yards at the very end, that would have forced overtime, and perhaps that would have led to a Clemson defeat. Just to recap the game, in case you didn't get a chance to catch it all, it was a scoreless first quarter. And then in the second quarter, Uyonglele, a 19-yard touchdown pass to Ngata. Beautiful pass, beautiful catch, corner of the end zone, made it 7-0 Clemson. Next possession for Syracuse, their outstanding running back, the freshman Sean Tucker. And this guy is everything that he is made out to be. He is special. 39-yard touchdown run for him. I'm sorry, a 39-yard run that led to a 2-yard touchdown run by Garrett Schrader, the quarterback, and that tied things up at 7-7. Later in the quarter, Clemson went into its bag of tricks, and Spires lined up to punt from the Syracuse 41. You would have thought that Syracuse would have had punt safe on, but apparently did not. He completed a 17-yard pass to Davis Allen that carried to the Syracuse 24, and Pace later ran in from 2 yards out to put Clemson up 14-7 at that point. And the Tigers had some momentum after that touchdown to carry into the second half. So we go into the second half, and we have a scoreless third quarter. So it's 14-7 going to the fourth quarter. And then the Tigers get a field goal from Potter, 40 yards, 17-7 with 9:22 to go. Syracuse came right back. Schrader, beautiful pass, 62 yards for a touchdown. That made it 17-14. Clemson had to punt. Syracuse got the ball at its own 7 to start the drive, and they converted. This had to be bothersome to Clemson and to Brent Venables. Syracuse converted a 3rd and 15 and a 4th and 7 to keep that drive going. Drive reached the 30. Clemson did not yield all the way to the end zone. Reached the 30 as time was running out, and the field goal kicker for Syracuse is a good one. He missed from 48 yards, and the kick really looked like it had very little chance to make it once he booted it. 38 seconds to go. He missed from 48 yards, and that's it. 17-14, Clemson wins it. Not a whole lot of offense. 314 for Clemson, 356 for Syracuse. Uyonglele, 21 of 34 for only 181 yards. Just no explosion in the Clemson passing game. Pace led the running attack with 76 yards. Uyunglele had a touchdown pass, and Pace had a touchdown run. The Tigers had only 8 big plays in the game. Their longest play of the game was 23 yards. Okay, that kind of tells you what we're talking about here from a big play standpoint. Schrader was only 17 of 37 for 191. A key point here, though, is he only rushed for 6 yards. This was a guy that had been running wild through people. He only had 6 yards rushing. Tucker, 157 yards. And like I said, he is the real deal. He's going to be a really good running back here at Syracuse if he stays healthy. Speaking of health, that's something Clemson does not have on its side right now. 14 scholarship players were out tonight, according to Dabo Swinney. Offensive line remains a revolving door. Trotter started at center tonight. Bockhorst at right guard. Tate was the left guard. They moved some people around during the game. And Rayburn has a COVID protocol, the first one they've had since fall camp, and that's why he did not play tonight. So that continues to be an issue. Secondary continues to be an issue. Revolving door back there because of players who are out. Andrew Booth, for example, was a late scratch before the game. He couldn't go, apparently some sort of lower leg issue that he was having, and he couldn't go. Wide receiver, also a situation where you got people out. E.J. Williams couldn't play tonight. He'd had a little knee procedure recently, and he was out. Tigers got a scare when Justin Ross kind of tweaked his ankle trying to make a catch. It would have been a nice gain for them. The ball was there, but as he went to catch it, he tweaked his ankle, and he dropped the ball, couldn't hang on, had to leave the game briefly, but he was back in the next series, was able to go the rest of the way and had a nice game. Davis Allen had a nice game receiving too at tight end for Clemson. So it's another win for Clemson, just like the one last week for Boston College, but it's not the way Clemson and Clemson fans are used to watching this team win football games. But I have a feeling you better regrow your fingernails by the Pitt game next week because you're going to need them again. I got a feeling this is the way Clemson's going to be playing football most of the rest of the way this season against the better teams on the schedule. Connecticut, of course, being an exception there. You might see a blowout in that game because they're not really good. But the rest of them could very well be very tight ball games down the stretch of those individual games, as they all have been against FBS opponents to this point in the season. But the bottom line is the Tigers, they win. They go to 4-2, 2-1 in the ACC. And, they keep some of their hope alive for maybe winning something in the league, depending what happens with these other teams the rest of the way. We shall see. On our website, as our post-game coverage continues, we have the post-game audio from Dabo Swinney and others who talked after the ball game. Swinney will have his conference call tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. We'll have that covered for you at sportstalksc.com and on Twitter at sportstalksc. And then Monday, I'll be joined by Matt Smith, who's covering the Gamecocks this weekend, Chris Bergen as well, and we'll talk all about it amongst ourselves and with you as well. So Clemson wins it here at the Carrier Dome, 17-14. Really a cool place. Did not have a packed house tonight, but it was a loud crowd, and it's really a cool place. They have really improved it with the renovations to the roof area and other upgrades to the building. So I'd love to come here for a big-time basketball game. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But Clemson gets out of here. They escape. They escape again with another win, 17-14. And thank you for checking us out here on this Saturday morning live from Syracuse. And have yourselves a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.